Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 7th of January and on the daily chart here for the ASX200. Let's just go over this here. We can certainly count 5 waves from this high here down through to this point here, and in fact that needs to go here. Just save that. This little move down through here, it doesn't count very nicely as 5 waves, so I've got to count it as a B wave here. In terms of, I can see there's 5 waves here, and then a correction. We probably could get 5 waves out of this move here, but the problem with this is the third wave here would be the smallest in the sequence of wave 1, 3, and 5 here. So it's very difficult to call it 5 waves into this particular space here. So it's a little bit like CBA. If we look at this low here at the 26th of October here, or roughly there, and then we bring across the CBA chart here, then we can also look at this low here, this low here around the same date here as the 26th, 26th of October here. So the move up through here represents this is basically the same as the ASX200, because the banks pretty much govern the ASX200, with CBA being about 9% of that particular index. And we normally find that CBA or finances and resources can fight each other and go in opposite directions. They can certainly tune in and go in the same direction, and when that occurs, then we see really strong moves in the ASX 200 where the resources and the finance are both on the same page. So this move down through here, we can count 5 waves down to this low here, and then we've got an A and a B and a C here for this, and then we've got down through here. So I've got to label this as a B wave here. So really all of this move from this low here to here represents much the same as this here. So from this low here in October to here, down to here. So this is corrective. So it's not such a silly thing to count it like this here. If we have to accept this as the third wave here, then we need to call the low in here as 5 waves down to finishing here as an A wave, a B wave, that B wave over here, and a C wave here. So yes, look, the markets can push up higher, back up to either the 50-60% retracement level here, or to the 5-8 here. So there is upside here, it's just how much upside here. So one of the questions we can look at here with CBA here and the other banks as well is we can look at this as 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 here, wave 4 here, and then pushing up for wave 5 here. So we're going to monitor this wave 5 here, and looking at this as an A and a B and a C. Now we did have this here as a, if I can just go to the 4-hour chart here, we had this as a wave 4 here because we could look at this as a corrective wave to this point, which is also the 38.2% retracement level here. So there was good cause to call it in here. The only problem is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree is higher up into this, into this space here. So this is why we're looking at this being 1 and 2 in here, and 3 in here, and 4 here, and 5 up into here. So an A and a B and a C. So let's just monitor this completion of wave C here in 5 waves, and then we'll try and get some understanding as this develops here what we actually have over this side here. But it is a point here where this could roll over down from wave 4 down to wave 5, and that would also bring across this here. So an A wave to here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and then down. So we're kind of looking up into the 5800 area here for resistance, and also this trend line through here as well. So just drilling into this market here a little bit closer on the 4-hour chart. The move up through here can take us up to 5-8, And if we look at this, let's just go into the 1 hour chart where we've been looking at our trade. So we were looking to go short below with the 72 or group 2 here as the resistance, but we didn't quite get there. We also looked at being, I noted that this was an A and a B and a C wave here, and a move just above here would confirm that. So that has been confirmed, and on that confirmation, that does send us long at this point. So from this low here, I'm looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here for this here as being wave 1. Back for wave 2 at the 50-60% retracement levels we talked about before. And then we'll be looking for wave 3 up here. So wave 3 here, if you look closer, we've got wave 1 and 2 in here. So this will be 3 in here. So we're looking for wave 4 here and then wave 5 up to make wave 3. This should come back and test the top over here as wave 4 on the 5-7 here. And then another move up like this length here from 4 to 5 here. So that will take us to 5-8. So in the meantime, that's pretty much sort of where we are at this stage with this. So to confirm this move up here through here too, we do need to make a new high above this this top here, which I don't think will be a problem. But yeah, the other way to look at this too is that I've got an A and a B and a C here. It's also possible too to have this wave C, if I copy this, sitting this over here as well, and having all of this as a flat, an A and a B and a C wave here. I don't think it's the case, but we'll know that once we get to the end here, because otherwise we'll see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and finish at this top here. So we'll just keep an eye on that. I need to look at that a little bit closer in there as well. Okay, so that's pretty much sort of where we are. We're going to be driven to the banks, to the upside there. And looking at the Chinese market here, the A50, we'd been looking, counting 5 waves down from this high here as wave 1 and 2, and then 5 waves down through here as wave 3. We're looking for a bounce off the 10,000. We've got the bounce. It has pulled back up past the 38.2% retracement level, and also the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. But we'll just stay with it for a second or two, because what we want to do is count 5 waves up as 1 and 2 here, or an ABC, so 1 and 2 and 3 here. So we can have a top in play here, probably unlikely, but this trend would need to recover a little bit from here and push up here. So let's see if we get 5 waves up here, or we just end up with 3 waves here at this point. But we're still looking for this. We're still looking for further downside here, even though that this has moved up past its retracement level here at the 38.2%, but we'll just stay with it for a little while. When we look at its partner here, the Hong Kong HANGSENG here, we're also looking at this as wave 3 here, and this is definitely a correctional pattern here as wave 4, and so we were looking for wave 5 to the downside, but as you know, wave 1 travelled nicely and wave 2 travelled nicely, and I thought we're into the 3rd wave here, but it just really didn't, in this space here, it didn't really extend out like a 3rd wave should, like over here. It wasn't, we should be in the most powerful point of the structure over here, and we're not. So we started to look at this in a different way as well. So from wave 3 here, we were looking at all of this here as an A wave here, and then 3 waves down through here as an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave here. And then we can look at this in 2 ways now. We can look at it as a C wave moving back up into this space here, so moving much higher, and well, yeah, pretty much can move all the way back up to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, to this high here rather, or even take it to this one here rather. So it can do that. Let's just put that up here, And the other one for this is that if I just grab that there and copy that, we end up with the triangle pattern here. So the triangle pattern would be, we don't need this anymore here, and we were looking to go short if the 25 here, the medium level, became the resistance. And also too with this too, we're looking for that first low to come into place, because we draw a line across the low, and then if it's breached at that point would be on the short side here. So we didn't get trapped here, so that's good. So this could do a couple of things here. We could look at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for this, at this point here. Move that to here. Or we can get 5 waves up here a little bit higher. I just don't know. There's no way of telling. This is the thing with wave 4s here. And if that's the case here, then we'll look at this scenario here for wave D, and then there'll also be a wave E over here as well. There we go, wave E of 4 here, and then down. So we're either going to get a strong move up into this section here and then down, or we're going to get this triangle pattern playing out here. So I'm not quite sure which way that's going to pan out. So it's probably more in line with the, it will be pulled around by the other global markets as well. So yeah, let's see where they are. So what we can do here is we can put, let's just move these here now. Just pop that over there. So we're looking now at, don't need that, don't need that. So we're looking at, this is an A wave here, a B wave over here, and the C wave will be one of these in here, and so on. So I will keep that, don't need that. Need that, don't need that. Okay, there's a bit of cleanup there anyway, but okay, let's move on. And moving on to India here on the daily chart here, we're looking at this in terms of wave 3 over here, with an A wave here, a B wave here, a C wave here, a D wave here, and an E wave moving back lower into this space here. The other count for this is more bearish, where we have this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. But the problem with that is that it's very difficult to get 5 waves moving from this low to this high here, say from 4 to 5 here in this particular case here. I mean, we could even label this here as well. You can even label it as wave 3 in this particular case as well. But the problem is we still, it's pretty simple to count, well, reasonably okay to count 5 waves in this structure here, and then an A and a B and a C here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it really leaves it as a corrective rally here. So it's very difficult to get 5 waves out of it. So one of the main points here is that the current move up through here has really reached where it's supposed to reach, into this 50-60% retracement level here. Any further highs in here would turn it bullish at this stage. So we'll definitely need to look at being bullish above these highs here, if that's going to be the case. And we'll look at a bullish count in a moment for this, but as it stands at the moment, while this is still under here, then we need to just keep an eye on the US markets, and because obviously they're moving things. So in this case here, we've got, if I can just remove that, we're looking from this current low here as wave A here, and then an A and a B and a C here. That fits nicely here for this wave B here, and a nice wave C up here. So yeah, I mean, it looks okay to be wave 2 here or wave D here in this case. And then we need to look at this as wave 1 to the downside, wave 2 here, then wave 1 and wave 2 here. So we should be looking at a move to the downside here shortly. If this top is taken out here, then this is going to invalidate that particular count here, and then we would need to look to the upside for that. So let's just allow this to play out. I mean, if this is going to be a wave 2 here, then wave 2s are normally a zigzag. They're normally very simple, and they're sharp. If this is going to get more complicated here, then we're probably better off looking at a bullish count, which would be, if I can just go to this chart here. So from the low here, we would count it up as wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then up for wave 5 here. And then wave 1 and wave 2 pulling back, wave 2 nice and sharp. And we know we've got 5 waves here, so we'd have to look at this as wave 1, and then an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here for wave 2. And if that's the case, then we need to look, you know, a nice strong third wave moving up into wave 3 here. It'd probably go further up, but would have a medium level there at 11,500. So, I mean, we have to look at all the counts. So yeah, so if this top is breached here, then we need to look at further upside, and we'll trade long from that point. But in trading long here, the other point to this too is that, you know, if we were going to go long here, then the 11,000 here, that would play out in a particular way. So the norm is that the market would arrive here and then it would react from here. Because it's already reacted the first time very deeply here, and then it's also reacted a shorter time here, and then also a shorter time here, then the reaction at this stage here is also going to be shorter as well. So, but still it will be short, and then there'll be a push to the upside, and a new high normally exhausts itself, so then it normally folds back, and it may just bounce straight back like that, or it may bounce back in terms of just depending on the wave structure like this, and then up. They're the two variations. This is the most common, and this is a variation on that common theme here. But either way, this first high above the level here is critical in both cases. Sometimes we get an opportunity to go lower here, and also sometimes we get an opportunity to go down this way, even get lower in here as well. So there's a couple of things that we can do in here. So even if we do get new highs here, then there's no point in rushing in, because you'll only get trapped in the new highs here, because this would occur most of the time. So I don't know what percentage, but pretty high. Each market has got its own personality and its own little quirks, and you need to understand those as much as possible. So I'll leave that at this stage. So let's just allow this to do its thing. The other point here too is we are expecting, you know, a move up in the rest of Asia, and also in the US as well. So it's likely that we can take this top out here. But even so, if it does, we still need to wait for this setup that I just mentioned over here. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.